Hi, everyone. Minor Ramos here with Asset Legacy Planning.
And Francine Walters with Walters Asset Protection and Mortgage.
So today we are going to dive a little deeper into, we've already talked a lot about protecting your health, protecting your business, protecting your home, and then protecting, everything that you own, everything that you work so hard for. So now where do you go from here, right? Like there are so many different things that people are doing, and so where is the right place? So what are you seeing, Francine, that where are people going to get these documents created?
I've seen people with the best intentions purchasing these documents online. And I've seen the documents, and unfortunately, they're not purchasing what they think they're purchasing. In the previous video, I shared that testamentary trust do not bypass probate. They're as good as a will. And a will does not bypass probate. Probate is where they determine whether or not the will is valid. The same thing would happen with a testamentary trust. So then you have the living trust that I've seen a lot of people purchasing online, and the wording minor, the wording is of a testamentary trust.
Yeah, and that and
And so their beneficiaries, it says something like testamentary beneficiaries or something like that. They all have similar wording to that, but they're not actually bypassing probate. And if that's the goal, for most people it is, then they're not accomplishing that.
yeah,
And then I honestly haven't seen any irrevocable trust
yeah.
purchased online through those systems. But I would be very curious as to the wording. People need to look words up, be aware of what you are purchasing, be aware of what you're buying, be aware of what you're signing, look words up, and,
So
and look into things.
right, so then you addressed one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum is when you go to an attorney's office. Now, I say this all the time because I have a lot of attorney friends, and they know that I'll talk about this. And I've said this to them in their face, and they laugh about it because they know it's true. But here's the other side of the equation. So we want to help people arrive at a possibility. So you know how an attorney charges for their time, how they keep track of it? There's a software called Carpe Diem, and then the moment that they pick up the phone and you're on them, they click on that so to make sure they track anytime they're doing anything for your case, they are logging it in. It kind of reminds me of those taxis we used to take, like the yellow taxis. They had the meters going on, right? I'm not saying that attorneys do this, but maybe they go around the block, the larger block.
Maybe.
No,
Oh,
um,
I'll say that they do it minor.
no, I'm bringing light to the fact that the reason why people don't go or don't get these documents done is because, and let's be very frank here. If you're going to go to an attorney, the benchmark is if your estate is over $10 million, I will be the first one to tell you you have to have an attorney do this for you, right? The majority of people, I mean, the vast majority of people can get these documents done from the comfort of their own home for a flat fee with all the information that they need, and then somebody who has the same powers of an attorney, right? The same brain, the same, all of that is going to be reviewing the documents for everything that you were just talking about, so that it's not that the language is right, that they take into account that you are a blended family, that you have properties in multiple states, that this person is going to be left out of the documents, things like that, right? All of those things, they can do it for a flat fee. I'm just reading stuff from a recent conference that I went to, somewhere between $2,500 to $5,000 easily going to an attorney, right? You can
Mhm.
go and do these documents online on your own, which already Francine told you she doesn't advise you to do it because it's not consistent with your particular situation. Is very, very like it's a template. I mean, let's face it, it's a
Mhm.
template. So you can do those for what, three, four, five, $800, whatever the case may be. So what's the solution? Well, with asset legacy planning, we have a flat fee, and we'll let you know. I mean, there's three different packages that you can choose. Some people only need, like, if you have a child that is college age, 18 years old, literally only need to have their medical power of attorney, right? And their HIPAA waiver and the healthcare directive. Simple, easy, quickly done. You might be in a situation where you create a will because you don't really have a whole lot of other stuff going on that it would need to, go to probate. It's just it's a very simple way of making sure that your wishes are carried out. But then you might be in a category of underage children, children with special needs, you own a home, you own a business. Any of those, we need to have a little bit more information about what you want so that we can tailor it based on the information that you want to achieve. Remember, all that you're doing is to extend your family and the virtues, the values, everything that you work so hard for and that you wanted to teach your family, and you want to make sure that that stays on and for future generations. We call that posterity versus people are just always concerned about like the money aspect. There's a lot more to it in legacy planning. So we've discussed a lot of these things. If you haven't had a chance to dig into some of the specific documents, you might want to watch the prior videos because we covered them all. And then in the next video, we're just going to really kind of zero in on really why does this really matter and why is it so important. And then we'll wrap up the series. But again, Francine, thank you so much. You bring so much value to our listeners. You really from the standpoint of your life, your experiences, the clients that you serve, and really the partnership is great because it combines asset protection with legacy planning. So everyone, thank you for watching,
Okay.
and make
Thank
sure you watch the
you.
next one.